Conventional PV modules have wafer solar cells made of either single crystal silicon wafers or polycrystalline silicon wafers. Polycrystalline silicon is also called multicrystalline silicon or simply polysilicon. Modules of both types are widely available, and we'll see both types in this course. Of the two, single crystal silicon solar cells are higher quality and more expensive. But polycrystalline silicon solar cells have gotten much better in recent years, and due to their lower cost, they're presently more popular than single crystal silicon solar cells. As the name implies, the wafer of a single crystal solar cell is all one single crystal. Beneath the metal contacts that sit on the top of the wafer, the surface of the silicon itself looks completely uniform. The specks and cloudiness you see are in the plastic covering over the wafer. By contrast, in polycrystalline silicon wafers, you can often see different grains with different colorations in the wafer. However, in recent years, polycrystalline silicon wafers have become much better than they used to be, and sometimes you can't readily see the grain boundaries in top-quality polycrystalline silicon solar cells, such as in the module we see here. Another visible difference between a single crystal solar cell and a polycrystalline silicon solar cell is that a single crystal silicon solar cell usually has rounded corners, while a polycrystalline silicon solar cell usually has square corners. The reason is that single crystal silicon wafers are grown as a cylindrical crystal that is then sliced into circular wafers. The wafers are trimmed to be close to square, but there are still empty corners. Apparently, it would be too wasteful to trim the wafers down to perfect squares. The result is that you see what appear to be white diamonds at the corners of the solar cells in a module with single crystal silicon solar cells. The white is actually the support plane underneath the solar cells. By contrast, wafers for polycrystalline silicon solar cells are either grown as squares or cut all the way down to squares. So modules made with these solar cells have no white diamonds at the corners of the cells. The voltage of a single crystal or a polycrystalline silicon solar cell when exposed to sunlight is up to about 0.6 volts, depending on the brightness of the light, the temperature, and the circuit it is connected to. This is true regardless of the size of the cell. The sunlight hitting a solar cell is proportional to the area of the cell. This means that at a given operating voltage, the current and power output of the cell are proportional to the area of the cell.